Live. It's alive. It's alive. It's live, I think. It's live. It's live. All right. Welcome back to Recharging the Batteries, where I listen to myself say the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. Well, actually, what I do is I usually get ready with a nice cup of coffee, and from there, what I do after is I hop on the treadmill and I run. As of last week, the new set is an hour and a half. Your job, mysterious people from the future, or people who might pop into the chat during, actually ideally them, is to just keep me company, keep me talking. I'll try my best to keep myself distracted and keep myself talking, but bluff, you know, that's the honest truth of it. At the end of the day, bluff. I'll be fine if no one shows up. It's just, it actually really does help if somebody shows up just to keep me company. I should really finish my coffee before doing this. Anyway, I am gonna do this for an hour and a half. Then I'm going to go and hop into the tub, and from there, I don't fucking know. Wednesday, however, is Wasted Wednesday. Now, by the looks of the weather, it looks pretty promising that I will be walking up the Sheemore Inn, which means I'll put together a video via the use of a phone when I get back. It won't be a very long video. I'd say about 15 minutes at the most. It's just the walk up there and the walk back. Not walk back. I'm going to grab a cab back because, of course, I'm grabbing a cab back. Jesus. But while I'm up there, I will just have a few drinks and pop back. So that'll be tomorrow. Now, of course, if not the weather fucks up, I still might make you a little something about traveling around here. I'll have to wait and see. Really depends on the weather tomorrow. Besides that, Wasted Wednesday, as normal, drinking on Rabbit. I'll actually link the Rabbit. I think it's called like just Low Energy Rabbit. And it's just a pretty, Low Energy Rabbit. So feel free to add me on. That for any future shenanigans. It's literally Low Energy Rabbit, no IT. No dots and then IT, you know. Now, from here on out, I'll actually add that into the link down below. So, along with the Discord, the Streamlabs, and the other thing, which is my email, kind of an important one, that, along with a wish list, which I really got to check that shit out. I don't think the link works. Despite all that, I will now add the Rabbit down below. So right, let's get this coffee underway so I can get on the fucking treadmill. Seriously, skip on ahead if you're watching this in the future. Oh, scaldy, very scaldy, but full of life, giving energy, recharging the battery. I'll be, let's see, I got 9 kilometers last time, so I want to get 9 kilometers at the very least this time around. Calories was 5 500 and something, maybe 6, can't remember. And it was pretty cool, actually. I really enjoyed it. I got into a good swing of things. Got some Streamlabs, got some people chatting in the chat. It was all pretty cool. So I'm hoping today I'll get some of that at least. And after Rabbit tomorrow, we're going to have Warcraft 2, The Tides of Darkness. And we are going to have Half-Life 2, the game that was awesome until we realized there was no sequel. But that's while I'm drinking. And in fact, if my plan goes right, I'd have been drinking for many an hour. So, that'll be fun. I'm not saying I'm going to be completely shit-faced or anything, but I might actually be shit-faced. You never know. I've also been looking around a way to do the live streaming while out and about. Now my phone, my Streamlabs, is just not working. The phone itself is too crappy. So instead what I'm going to have to do is get myself the smallest laptop I can that has Windows in it. Because then I can install Streamlabs, transfer all this, which is currently pre-saved, over to my Streamlabs on that, and then I can get started on doing live streams like before, just having a little satchel with my laptop. I'd have to find a little table. Sometimes it won't be as convenient as the phone, but quite honestly, Android being Android, plus that whole thing about Streamlabs, I guarantee you it won't in the future last for long. Because Streamlabs will eventually be counted as, oh, so long as you're using an Android regardless, you can't stream on your phone. Even if you're using Streamlabs. So my way around that will simply have a laptop. What are you going to do next? You won't be able to stream if you have under 1,000 subs. How are you meant to get subs then? Post up videos? How long before those videos are kicked off? Before even my beloved low energy videos are gone. Eons, that's how long. Not egons, which would be cool, but eons, which is not cool. Wait, no, that would be alright. No, I don't. Mixed up that. Shit. Not long. Opposite of eons. Finite amount of time. Yeah. Can you tell the rambles have already kicked in? I'm not even sweating yet. Also, my big bottle of water, I didn't put it in the fridge, so I've got 2 smaller ones. It'll make switching out bottles kind of awkward. Every 45 minutes I should switch out a bottle of water. Right. Oh, and today, because the other one is in the wash, because of course I washed that shit. Do you see how much sweat I got onto it? I've got an old t-shirt here I'm just going to wear for today. Alright. Sometimes I wish that people would pop into the chat prior so I can get started. But you see, my fans, the few that want to show up and really engage, they're in America. A lot of them are working, some of them are in school, and many of them are asleep. So what I need is good old-fashioned Europa fan base. They kind of pass the torch from one to the other. Oh, I also haven't seen Game of Thrones, the new episode yet. Kind of pissing me off. I can't find it anywhere. Oh no, I can't do horrible things like take money out of people who actually deserve their money. Those people do deserve their money. If I had HBO, I would use it, but I don't have HBO. don't have Sky. When I get Sky, I'll stop doing it. We have a new barber up there. The next few weeks I should go up and see what my beard looks like. So yeah, if the weather is like today, I'm so walking up to Shemorian. It's a lovely little place. I've talked about it before. It's the last technical pub here that I haven't gone to on camera yet. Oh, and I suppose Donlands. But you don't take a camera into Donlands, quite honestly. Even if the weather's bad, I'll head up to the hotel and then I'll head up to... What's that other one? With the big... Balbridge. The Burns of Balbridge. I've done streams there before. No one ever showed up for those streams, I remember that. They liked it after the fact, though. But I'll probably show the video, just me going from place to place. Alright. Scaldi was a comic I used to read back in the day. This blonde girl, she was obsessed over becoming a goddess. It was like a barbarian tribe, and her main thing, she had to get meat. She had to kill and eat all the different types of meat. And it turns, along the way, she gets friends and shit, and at the end of it, it just turns out that she's like, oh, my god is a fucking idiot. And I think they learned a pseudo-lesbian lesson. I call it that because sometimes people can interpret it that way. Like when, in the last episode of GOT, I think they all wanted Arya to be like gay, but she's not. So people were complaining. They were more complaining about her age, which is fucking ridiculous. She killed a bunch of people. She killed so many people and then steals their faces. In fact, she wants to shag once before she dies, you know? No spoils. I still haven't seen that yet. Right. Yeah. I look good. I actually have to say, I'm starting to feel the effects of all this running and dieting. My jeans don't feel anywhere near as tight. Just a smidge, just a little bit of smidge, you know? Nothing crazy. Right. 90 minutes at 6 kilometers an hour. Wish me luck. Boop. Now we begin. It's basically me in fear every single time when I start this. Like this time around it took about, 12 minutes? When in reality it could have been done in one. When I'm done I'll throw this into the wash too and put on like a big old soak. Got a lot of stuff to throw in. So I finally finished Charlie Wilson's War again. As always, I absolutely love the book. Kind of makes me want to watch the movie, but it would make me feel a little bit. That's not what happened. now going through the second book of the War of the Spider Queen, because nerd. And I'm going through one of Arch Warhammer's Wracked series. He posts once a week. But I mean, it's so long now that it's always good to top yourself back up with shit like that. Oh, now here's a bit of news. The new Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. No. No. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, to make him interact with real people, but quite honestly, that's like the least of our problems. That face on him. I saw a great thing on Facebook. Ooh, that freaked me out there for a minute. It was Jeff Goldblum in The Fly, and they kind of warped them together. Rondo Fly. Honestly, just realised as I walk, the glare behind me makes it look like I've got some weird strobe light thing going on. Or else there's a fire. No fire. Just a shadow. Beautiful weather out there today. Oh, I'll give it one pass. The Sonic movie. It has Jim Carrey in it. And Jim Carrey is actually being very Jim Carrey. I think Jim Sterling said something like up to... We haven't seen this level of Jim Carrey in about a decade. Which can be interesting. It can be also really obnoxious. I'm guessing it's going to be the obnoxious one. 85 minutes? I'm gonna be here for a long time. To pass the time, I want to give a big shout out to Pitmonk. That's right, Mr. Cigarette Fire himself. No more cigarettes, which is good for him. Whether or not he'll stick with it, well, that's up to him. I personally don't think him doing that on camera, making that big sort of claim, I'm kind of like Paul in that regard. I think he's just setting himself up for a bit of an embarrassment. But I'm happy to be wrong. And at any rate, I'll save him a bit of money each week. It must cost him a fortune for those cigarettes. I haven't gone on the Morning Wood in a long while. I think I might have actually unsubbed from him. I don't know why I'd do that. I haven't seen so much of him. Maybe unsub for me. I don't know. Should check that shit out. So, as always, if something goes wrong, if I suddenly get a massive twang of pain going through my legs, or I start getting blurry vision, or whatever, I'm gonna stop it. Hasn't happened yet, but you never know on these things, do you?
3 minutes and then 80. Speed is more or less the exact same as before. To the point where I think every 10 minutes I will increase the point by 1. That way, at least till I get to 6. Then I can bring it back down to 9. My ma called me today, and one of the first things she asked was, "Did you see about the babe, Megan's baby? Any news on it?" I'm just there like, why the fuck would I care about that? A royal baby, huh? Beyond them being happy parents, I don't give a toss. Also, it seems you people have spoken. You have told me, quite frankly, you just don't care what I do so long as I get drunk. Plus, one of you's asked me to do this. Blah, blah, blah. You know the gist by now. Oh, I am very happy with answering all of your issues, to the point where I had no problem doing this while shit-faced. However, I don't have any money on me, and I don't have, at least not till tomorrow, and I ain't got any booze. Even if I did, I'd have to stop this, probably put on a bit of deodorant, go up, get some booze, come back, get shit-faced, and then hop on the treadmill. You want that shit to happen? Jump those Streamlabs on for me. And then we can talk. Actually, in all fairness, I probably will do this shit face sometime. Which will be fun. And highly dangerous. What the hell was that? Am I some sort of angry chimp going at the camera? A fat little duck. No, a penguin. Fat little penguin waddling around. Just fatting around. Not for much longer, babe. Okay, distance 1k. Calories 70. Speed 6.1. Time just under 80 minutes. Remember, folks, don't forget to like and share and all that good shit. But above all else, don't forget to be amazing. Because I often do. Although in my own way I'm amazing. Let's see. Something to pass this one. Oh yeah, again, if anyone who watched my previous stream and then subbed just because you thought I'd be playing more Yu-Gi-Oh! Or games like that, you're gonna be so disappointed. That'll probably be the only time I ever play that shit. And I really do think it's shit. And I was thinking, just why do I think it's shit? I think it's scummy, games like that. These sort of East Asian shell companies that churn out these constantly pointing games where you just have to constantly touch them and then, oh, they're free to buy, but now you got a choice. Wait a day or cough up £5. It's only €5. Couldn't even call it pay to win. You just call it pay to play, really. And if you enjoy grinding like that, where it's like 10 million gems to unlock the next level, or €5. If you like that shit, then good luck, buddy. I can enjoy grinding too. A lot of my games have grinding. Level grinding, money grinding. In the case of porn games, a lot of literal grinding on crotches. In case of The Sims, some of those overlap with the Wicked Whims mob. But it's really not my cup of herbally infused shroom tea, which while I can't say if I ever get my hands on some of that, I'll do it on stream, because that would be illegal. If I suddenly have a stream where I'm just running around the field, I think you'll figure some shit out. Of course, that will be in a country that's legal in. Yeah. Skirt that shit. Law Energy Videos does not condone open use of drugs. A lot better than my PSA last time where I told people to shoot themselves. Oh no, it was shoot lazy cops. That's the one. Shoot lazy cops. Oh, we got a message here. Is that Evan? Winners don't use drugs, but the cool kids around back who don't care about such things as trophies, they use drugs like fucking crazy. You know all your favorite musicians and actors? Drugs. Not school, drugs. See your mom's and dad's loveless marriage, the only reason he can get it up? Drugs. Only reason she doesn't go and slit her wrists? Drugs. I don't know why I pointed at me when I said drugs for that one. How you doing there, Evan? You come to see the glazed ham in motion? I'm like one of those rotisserie chickens slowly rotating at like a truck stop. You're just watching it for hours going, yeah, I'm gonna have a slice of you. Sorry I didn't pop into the stream after you rebooted it. My plan was that I was going to watch you for a little bit in bed, just like passing out. It was pretty late in the evening. And at that point, when you went, I was like, I'll hop into bed with the phone. And I ended up checking Facebook, and then I stuck on Facebook, and then eventually I just passed out. I have to get my sleep pattern in order so I can interact with you guys more. Because you're like 7-8 hours in difference. And I'm a tired boy. Whoa, we're getting a crowd here. Hey man, I'm sick today. Oh shit, man. Are you sick? Sucks that you're sick. What's wrong? The flu? Woo! Oh shit, I can get myself some water. This is how you rehydrate, isn't it? Ugh. The glazed ham in motion. Evan, by the way, I expect to see you tomorrow. Half-Life. Drinking on Rabbit. Travel video where I'm wandering around nature's goodness on the way to a bar. It's right up your alley. I have to find out what time I'll be doing all that at. I'll probably start making the video around about 3. So it might still be normal time. I might still start doing the rabbit stream around about around about 6, 7ish. Yeah, no, I don't know why I always try to read the PC screen. I have the TV on for a reason. Yeah, no, I have a panning headache and nausea. Shit, man. Well, if you want to not feel sick, watching me is probably a bad idea, especially at the end of this. Unless, of course, misery likes company. In which case, yeah, bring that shit in. Oh. By the way, either one of you guys see the new Sonic trailer? I'm pretty sure Teddy Rubbskin and Christian have some things to say. I imagine for Teddy it'll be mostly, the fuck is this? Well, I need company too, so I've got 71 minutes and 25 seconds. So I'm literally going nowhere. You could say it's a metaphor for life. We're pushing nearly 2K now. Yeah, so distance is 1.9 calories, 135 speed, 6.1. It does, doesn't it? Jim Carrey might get a few laughs because he's so Jim Carrey-ish in this, but I mean, for starters, why did they not think of hiring John Goodman? I mean, of all the people, they could have just strapped on a fake mustache, given him a bald cap, and boom. Eggman's not known for his crazy flamboyantness, he's known for his just ridiculous over-the-top. I'll get you next time, Hedgehog! Curse it, Hedgehog! John Goodman could have played that shit up. Just strap and give him some really tight-looking goggles. That character's face, though. Jesus fucking Christ. Sonic's face. It's the mouth that gets me, and his little spindly legs. Like, you could say he has a bit of Johnny Bravo-esque going on, where he's just like bulky at the top, and he gets skinny, but he's not really bulky, he's just... I wonder if, yeah. And he's like electric. That's his power. Oh god, could you imagine how the rest of them are gonna look if they ever try to make a sequel? Tails, Knuckles. You know, the Pokemon Detective Pikachu one, that looks endearing. This, in comparison, it looks endearing. The characters look like the characters. I mean, it still looks stupid as fuck, but... Jesus. Aqua. Aqua. Everybody abandoned ship. You know what? There's going to be one group of people who like this, and I'm not talking about the Sonic fans and shit. They'll just be pissed off that Edgehog, the Edge Shadow, the Demon Hog, their DeviantArt character won't be included. But there's one group of people who'll be happy, and that's the shareholders. The shareholders, the corporate board that runs Paramount have like a checklist of what a film like Sonic will be. They'll be happy with it. A boardroom saw this and went, yes, this is exactly what we want. And you know what the sad fact is? It's gonna make money. If Pixels and the Emoji Movie can make money, this shit'll make money. And it isn't even for nostalgic reasons, it's because people reasons. Cletus and Ethel will go there because they're like, oh, look at him. I remember Jim Carrey. I remember him too. I remember playing these games. Slowly turning into Pimpisha there. Honestly, fuck him. I won't watch that film. I'm far more likely to watch the new Aladdin and the new Lion King than I'll ever want to watch shit like that. Anyway, video game movies by default have a bad history. There's like any ones that are generally good are just they're by default going to be good ironically. I say Street Fighter. Hate the idea of the movie in real life, that's why they don't. Yeah. I hate the idea of the movie in real life, that's why they don't like it. I get you. And video games, pretty much. I'm just thinking, oh god, I just had a terrifying thought. Now that the superhero films are starting to wind down, you don't think the video game movies will be the next port of call for the big budgets, will you? Because they famously are bad. But could you imagine now if the industry had this really strong notion of making video game movies? Like a new make of the Mario movie. Or Metroid could be good. Metroid could be very good. Although the fact that it's a blonde woman will make a lot of people angry for some strange and stupid reason. But also because it's not a woman of colour. So Samus is probably going to be blackened up by 20% or more. That's my theory anyway. Or maybe she'll become a lesbian, I don't know. Maybe trans. And the thing is, these all can be fine on their own, but if they do that, they're going to make it the focal point of the film. And as a result, there'll be no character development whatsoever. Like, we're gonna tell this tale, but it's gonna be a woman. Okay. So what else are you bringing to the table besides that to make it unique? Because I like the remake of True Grit. Oh, that was some good shit. But then obviously Girl Busters, piece of shit. That new Oceans film, piece of shit. They're bringing a new character in. I like the Sonic movie, mate, more than... Yeah, pretty much. Which, I don't know, maybe Robotnik will run away and then create Knuckles. But one of his creations, Tails will escape and warn Sonic. And the two will become fast friends. Oh god, Shadow. I just pictured Shadow being voiced by Idris Elba. Paycheck, baby. Paycheck. It's all about that money, even though it shouldn't make any money. I mean, there are some games that I could see them doing that could really be interesting. For example, if they got some of the people who made, for example, How to Train Your Dragon for, say, a Spyro movie, that could be pretty good. Well, let's see another one. If Crash Bandicoot, there's another film that would work, but they'll do the exact same thing they did to Sonic. They'll put Crash into the real world and have... Who'd play Cortex? Who'd play Cortex in that? Cortex is so over the top anyway. I keep thinking of Jeremy Irons, Ben Kingsley. Nah, they stopped using people like that a while now. Who's the guy who plays Dr. Draken in that terrible new remake of Kim Possible? I could see him playing a Cortex. Maybe even Robert Downey Jr. if they got the money for him. Just give him a gigantic forehead with an N on it. Oh, Johnny Depp would have been also a good choice there, but he's blacklisted by Hollywood. Let's see, other classic games. Oh god, imagine a Q*bert video game. Maybe, yeah, in the same universe as the Wreck-It Ralph universe. That would actually make sense. He's even in it at some point. I'm just trying to spitball an idea at this stage. Like, a Metal Gear Solid film would be fucking amazing if they got Kojima to write the script for it and got to choose the actors. Yeah, I can imagine Robert Downey Jr. playing a good Cortex. Also, if that was the case, I wouldn't want Crash to speak at all. That would be brilliant. Like, I can't imagine them doing it, but... Okay, we're finished our first half hour. 2 more of those to go. Distance, 3k. Calories, 215. Speed, 6.3. Just under 60 minutes to go. Okay, let's think of another one. Bubsy. Ugh. No, not Bubsy. I'd like to see a Dynamite Heady animated series. That whole thing was trippy as fuck. Picking up like old classic platformers. There's a lot of them, so I'm trying to pin one down. I know I said it before, but Gex would be an obvious choice. But that movie would just be atrociously bad. I mean, that film by default was just 90s in all its wrong ways. Let's quote something that kids will recognize. Also, I want to see maybe imagine if they made Ice Age in the real world. You know, I always imagine them having the very last one, having a sort of Madagascar or Into the Wild version of that, where it was, where they were like all frozen in the ice, and then they all come to life. and it's about how they can interact with the real world, well, the modern world, the human world. And it would be slapsticks, you know, Ray's character of the mastodon, he'd knock over shit, and I don't fucking know. It would just be a bit of a cluster all round. There's actually a lot of 80s cartoons I'd like to see remade. But like the ones that were clearly geared towards just selling toys, or ones that should have happened years ago, like Captain Planet. Where the fuck is our live action Captain Planet? Where Nicolas Cage plays him. Where's our Centaurians? We're like an overly neon universe. Where's our Jason the Wheel Warriors? You know? Wheel Warriors! I mean, we got our Volt. Even it doesn't have to be a movie, but I mean, they could remake it. I mean, they did a decent job at Castlevania. Castlevania is a very good show. Voltron's pretty good too. The ending was rushed, to say the least. Of course, then, you know, for every Castlevania, you're gonna get a gem in the holograms. But I mean, this is all just a major problem, and that is, where's the originality? I know Will Smith is playing like a spy that got turned into a bird at one point. Now that's going to be a CG movie. He's like the ultimate James Bond-esque character in his universe, and he gets turned into a bird by like this bird lady. Like, she's got like a crappy little apartment and she's got like no life. But I don't know the basic. I think that's just the basis of the plot. But honestly, no, thank you. I mean, if that's your originality, well, props for being original, I guess. Except it really is just an inverse version of Rio, which had a few thong jokes thrown in for a laugh. Don't forget to floss. Who was that? My dentist. I whacked the speed down to 6 point. Sorry, 5 point. 6 point because I'm making good time. I'll put it back up in a while from now. I mean, there's plenty of originality out these days in movies, but a lot of them just go unrewarded, I honestly think. Like, a lot of people said Arrival was fantastic, and I watched it and I thought it was amazing. But no one talks about that film anymore, except to say that, oh, it was full of itself by a few people who I'm like, you didn't think about that with Cloud Atlas, and I think Cloud Atlas was full of itself. Thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was great. Thought Arrival was really cool. It's just like how to communicate with something that's completely alien. That's most of the film. I mean, the whole time travel thing was a little bit okay, but time travel is never a good choice in a movie. No spoils, but let's just say something like that is brought up in Endgame. The legacy of Back to the Future is awash with inaccuracies. Woo. Okay. So, I can't wait for when the bubble bursts on the movie industry, because everything bursts eventually. So, it eventually will come to a point where there's literally not enough money, not enough market to grow. I mean, China's the last major market, and it will set some pretty rough terms. Like Game of Thrones is constantly being censored for sex. What happens if, for example, you had a film set in China, some alternate reality where, I don't know, the nationalistic Chinese won to the communists, which is an interesting idea. I've got a huge ass book in my library over there that has my 1.5 shelves of books. I've got a DVD library, I don't have a book library, I've got some shelves dedicated to books. But there's a book on him, and yeah, interesting fellow, Chiang Kai-shek, but the point I'm trying to make is, you try to sell that in China, the very least they'll do is edit out like half the film. So we have to pander to what China wants. And China doesn't want anything that could be construed as anything bad. Alright, now I like Back to the Future, but I don't like it for its science. It makes no sense. Time travel doesn't work that way. But here's the thing. I like it. I think the third is the weakest. It's also sad, I can't watch that without seeing the hanging scene where Michael J. Fox's Lou Gehrig's disease got kicked up into high gear. Like, instead of him getting it around about now in his life, he got it decades ago, because he was actually left dangling on that scene, and everyone just sort of stopped and they all thought he was faking it, and they all started to walk away, and he was just there for like enough air got kicked out of his brain enough that kicked it into high gear. That's his theory anyway. I think it's called Lucky Man or something like that. That movie, that book, he talks about it. Lucky Guy. That's what that's called. So I can't watch that film without seeing that scene and just feeling like shit. But also, let's be honest here, 3 is the weakest. Thirds in movies have a bad habit of being weak anyway. I think movies like Godfather set that precedence. The third Godfather is just so meh compared to the first and the second. I know a lot of people like the second. I like the second. It's interesting seeing him as a young man. It's not the first, but that's a lot better than the books anyway. I kinda liked it at the time. I think I was the right amount of stoned and drunk that I really appreciated it. I remember I hated the sequel. I remember I just went back and watched the sequel and was like, oh, this is shit. That scene where he has to, spoilers if you haven't seen it, where he has to impregnate his mom. It's just so forced because they're all listening in at the door and he's like, oh, I'm releasing semen inside you, Mom. Oh, God. Oh, I think you just left my balls into her vagina, your mom's vagina. I'm just like, oh, God, stop it, please. Stop it. This film is so bad. Well, fair enough, man. It's just... fuck that shit. I'll tell you a film I do like that has time travel. Men in Black 3. And I hear they're going to be making a new Men in Black. Starring, the Valkyrie girl and from Thor, and Thor, I think actually, Hemsworth. In which case, cool. I mean, I'd have to wait and see it. I think it'll just be completely fine. I don't know why they have to keep on remaking Men in Black. I was happy with the first one. I thought the second one was just garbage. Just utter garbage. But the third one was alright. Same with the Oceans films now, thinking about it. I loved Oceans 11, hated Oceans 12, and loved Oceans 13, and hated Oceans 14. So if they ever make a new one, if they combine the two groups, that'll be kind of interesting. Maybe it will get a completely acceptable film, rather than just being amazing like the first and the third one. Okay, update. Kind of hard to see with the glare of the sun. 46 minutes. No, sorry, 47 minutes and counting. Speed 43. Calories 307. Speed Sathansa. Oh, I don't know about that, man. Girl busters. Just change the gender up and... Oh, you'd have people calling out sexism at the yin yang. God damn, Girl Busters was bad. Then they had the balls to say that it was because of sexism. No, it was because the film was shite. Because it was full of unfunny cunts. I'm sorry, but it was. They're not. Most of them are not good actresses. And they had Amy Adams in that. She's alright. They just weren't funny. And you can claim sexism all you want, but how many women decided not to go, huh? Like, that's always the thing, like, men are suddenly the only group that matters. Fuck that shit. I thought the whole point was that women matter exactly the same as men. So, why don't you look at the chart to see how many women went to see it? And what did they think of it? Most would have said the exact same thing the guys were saying. This is shit. I'd say this is no time for a rant, but fuck it. It'll help me distract myself. I've got another 45 minutes to go. I'll tell you one thing that's killing me. My fucking nipples. When you're fat, your man boobs. They don't like too much friction. You gotta keep on through it. Woo! But no, like I said earlier, you put a woman in a lead to a film that isn't just about the fact that she's a woman, fuck yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch the living shit out of that. And along the way, I'll feel that, oh, alright, cool. She is just as badass as everyone else. But you tell me that it's a woman doing her own thing all the time. Or this movie's all about black people. And give me nothing else. I'm gonna be like, okay, this is crap. And then I'm called sexist and racist over it. Along with anyone else who didn't watch or like the damn film. Looking at you, Spike Lee. I'm looking at you. The only plus I can think of that is if enough people don't watch that film, the studios, who don't give a shit about that sort of thing, they just care about money and whatever's current and relevant, then they will just be like, okay, done. Hey, now in all fairness, it's always the exact same thing with every group. It's just feminism is in right now. If I was growing up in the 40s or earlier, movies would be having so much more God, like all the God, all the time. And they wouldn't allow black people on screen half the time. They definitely wouldn't give them top billing. That's because conservatism was big in. And then over 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, we realised that was a piece of shit. But after the 90s, we really started to get into deep opposite land. And eventually it'll swing back. And I don't want to see it swing back. I don't want to swing back to films where, you know, a woman isn't allowed to speak. She has a choice. She gets a line or she gets top billing. But if she gets top billing, she can't say a word. Yeah, I mean, how could I be racist when I dated a black girl for 2 years? Now, in all fairness, that, while cool, people can construe that as just being a defense. Like everyone, that's not a defense anymore. But hell, if you did date them for a black girl for 2 years, you know full well blacks can be anywhere completely as racist as anyone else. Because they're people. Because they're fucking people. I love the Brad Williams stand-up routine I watched last Wasted Wednesday on Rabbit, which the link you'll find at the top of the screen, on top of the chat if you want. And Brad Williams was talking about how like he can't stand when afterwards people like would a woman came up to him afterwards and said, "I'm offended that you used the word midget," and he's just staring up at her because he's a fucking midget, and he says, "Oh, I understand how this could be offensive to you. You must have a child or you're married to a little person," and she's like, "No." "Oh, then you must have a lot of good friends who are very sensitive about their height." "Not really, no." "Oh, really? Well, shut the fuck up, bitch." You know, how dare you tell me what to do with my life? You know, like fuck's sake. There is some really hard-end sort of white guilt feminism and liberalism that just doesn't help anyone, because it misses the point. I'm going to be offended for you because you aren't smart enough to do it on your own. This goes above your pay grade. You just sit there being awesome and oppressed. Like, we're coddling people. Debates now are one of two things. One, a navel-gazing circle jerk. Or two, a shouting match where nothing gets said or done. You know, the internet blood sports? Like, I never liked that shit. But I got why it was popular for so many people. Because nothing would get solved. People just hurl insults at each other. It's a lot better than just being in a echo chamber, constantly saying how great everyone is. Like, oh, these liberals. Oh my god, they're going to tear down the country. They're going to put a trans Muslim woman in charge. We're all going to have to pray 5 times to Mecca and call our children Akbar because it'll be offensive to do otherwise. And everyone just nods in agreement. It's no different when you go onto the BuzzFeed shit and they're talking about how the white man won't let us do anything. He's a drain. We should be proud that we have poor records in poor test scores, because we don't need to live by their standards when we were proud Nubian kings on the plains of Africa. And they're all nodding their heads there. And it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's the extremes of all things. And all extremes are bad, frankly. Like right now I'm extremely sweaty. And I see that as very bad. But it's a requirement. So maybe future generations will look back on us with the two extremes screaming at themselves and then at each other with these false narratives that eventually maybe something will come out of it. In my case, I'm sweating so I can buy clothes off the store shelf. And so I don't have a heart attack at the age of 50. Maybe one day the world will be like, well, that was stupid for us. Maybe we should all sit down and have a conversation. And I hate to say it, but America leads the way in the best chance and the worst chance for progressivism. Because Europe runs around like a headless chicken. Russia don't give no shit, they're conservative as fuck. China, big question mark there. India, whatever is the most financially relevant. Another big question mark on Africa, and South America is conservative as fuck. And Australia, ooh. If there's ever going to be a civil war fought over liberalism and conservatism, it's going to be in Australia, let me tell you. Those people had fist fights over car manufacturers. And that's not even a joke. They really used to have fights over that shit. GM! No, Ford! He was even told what they used to be called. They used to be like a slang word for that. And like factory workers at the end of the day would go to their associate bars and get really shit-faced and then start beating the crap out of each other outside them. Which... very Australian. Very Australian. I like it. Fuck me. Haha. We are making good time. Come on. Distance is... come on. Distance is... there we are. 5.5. Calories, 385. Speed, 6.1. And we're counting back. 35 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Next time I'll do a running stream Friday, and then Sunday, and then now, and so on and so forth. I'm off to see Metallica next week, as far as I can tell, so that might upset some sort of streaming goals. Yeah, I think Wasted Wednesday won't happen, but I'll try to put a little roadside video together. They're playing up in Slane. I gotta put some money aside for that shit. Shit, there's a link. I saw it. It's good, man. Obviously I can't look at it now. I'll put my head in. A good friend of mine, Claire, is really getting into vegan gains. She knows he's a piece of shit, but at the same time, she also knows he's... like, she also thinks he's got some good ideas, but he's also a cunt. So, I think she's giving him too much praise for the good ideas part, but hey, when shit fights shit, I'm gonna talk about no bullshit. I'm gonna talk to J... He interviewed JF, for fuck's sake. Don't forget, man, post that shit up on Discord. That's what the Discord's there for. Better to post it there than here. God. I'm gonna hop in the bath after this. I'm like one of those stones you can get where you crack it open and liquid comes out. That's me right now. Ooh, so much sweat. Yeah. Because after this, I'm going to hop into the bath. Don't know how long I'll be there. Of course, it'll be a while yet before I see it. Whew. Tomorrow should be a good laugh. Even if it's too rainy to go up to Shemore. I'll make it a trip to go somewhere else. That's shit. Whew. I'm very low energy today. Still, progress, baby. Fuck yeah. Let's have a look at my heart rate. I can't imagine it's very good. Pulse 83, 88, 93, 98. I'm guessing. Ooh, compared to last time. Yeah. I'm not drinking enough water. Still half an hour to kill. Oh. Half of that went down my fucking face. I feel like a dwarf. I always wanted to drink from a drinking horn to see like it all trickle down from your beard. Someone I know has a drinking horn for sale. I might try to buy it off him. Just fill it up with like the most crappiest ale and beer possible and just down the whole thing. Lock. Okay, so alright, so we're at 6k, only 3 more K more to go. What's 9 kilometers in miles, by the way? I think Short Bus figured it out last time. I can't remember. That's how many miles I'll be going. I'll be going 9 kilometers. Woo! Okay, we got half an hour left. If you're liking this and maybe want to engage in the future, don't forget to like the stream, share it. Join the Discord, you'll find the link down below. I posted a rabbit at the front of it. I'm there at least once a week. More people will be guaranteed in, the more people I do it. Same here, honestly. You know the gist by now. Like, share, subscribe. Well, Dick, if you could be a chum and just check that shit out. It's not like I can. I need to get like a little sticker next to me to show the distance. Woo! The next time I do a stream, that'll be the tagline for it. How much miles to kilometers is. Oh yeah, don't forget the Streamlabs, baby. Streamlabs down there in the corner. Every little helps out. It's my mama's birthday. What did you think of Deep Fat Fries Banter Soda? I'm actually planning to listen to it in the bath, which I'm going to have after this. Hiya, Bill. You missed the banter as we were talking about how SJWs are going to destroy Hollywood. But then again, the Conservatives already destroyed Hollywood, so... Holly disaster. Would not Something. Would not support. Saying that, if I had an opportunity to be like an extra in a crappy film, I so would. Hey, if Anna and Akira can be in fucking Ant-Man for like half a second, there's hope for me. Who am I kidding? I'm way good, better looking than she is. Bill, no spoils, but what did you make of the episode yourself? Holly Ash. Holly Ashed. Oh, Holly Ashed. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I get it. Took me a few seconds. Fuck it. Streaming service is where it's at now. Not movies. Not TV. Streaming, of which I am a pioneer. Except the fact the boat left ages ago. As well the other boat that came after. So I'm on this crappy little, like, 4th generation boat. All the real pioneers left years ago. The annoying oranges and the Pootie Pies and the TJ Kirks. They all sailed over the horizon with all their money. Alright, TJ might not be making as much money as those other dudes. Actually, he might be making more money than the annoying oranges now. And we're at Ray William Johnson. Damn that guy. I have to admit, I did like Equals 3 back in the day. But only because I didn't know there was better stuff out there. I liked the skit where he constantly threw the baby doll over his shoulder. And it slammed off against his comic book wall. And you can just see he's about to break into laughter. He's like... Fenton! Fenton! And of course, that's where Anna Akira was as well. First time I saw her, I was like, oh wow, she's hot. And after a while, oh wow, she's really not. He still was tiny and had crazy hair. But at that point, I'd have moved on to better Brad Jonesier things. Oh, Brad. How... Let me count the ways of how I love you. 6. There's 6 ways I love Brad Jones. But those are between him and me. And our lawyers as he puts a restraining order against me. As for TJ, I'd say, hey, a faggot. Hey, a faggot. That's how you say hello to TJ. Neat. Oh god, YouTube, you have taken over my little brain. Must be all this salt I'm downing. I'm sure there's a pole joke here somewhere. So we got 24 minutes to go. I feel sore, but at the exact same time, engaged. I have woken my third eye. And it's mostly telling me to have a shave afterwards. Not the beard part, but like all the side, it needs cleaning up. Oh boy. One downside of doing a workout with any form of beard on you, oh, it itches so badly. Not always, after a while it kind of equals out, but there's a horrible intermediate period where you've got like a neck beard and some face fuzz and 5 o'clock shadow. Oh god, it is just terrible. Ooh. So, I've been chatting like crazy. Dick, what you gonna do after this? Sun's going down quick enough. Jesus. Woo. Thud, 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 thud. No one can say I'm not committed to this shit. Play Ghost Recon's Wild Lands with my butt. Cool. I want to get my hands on Far Cry 5 next time it's on sale and play it from start to finish on my channel. Fucking love that shit. I'll try Borderlands again this weekend. Hopefully, I'll get a better response than last time. Computer fucking me over. Fucking fuck. Also, I have to get back on Oblivion at some time. Like, Jesus. I haven't played Oblivion in ages. I'm insulting my Bethesda overlords. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Oxhorn. I like Oxhorn. But when he was arguing that he's not a Bethesda shill, no, you're a Bethesda shill. I'm sorry, big guy. I don't think anything else laid against you is true. But you could be a lot more critical of the games you play. Instead, you just sort of laugh it away when characters clip through the ground, and it takes forever for streams for you to connect to servers and shit. Oh well. Fuckity, smuckity, truckity. Should be truckity. You should have had truckity at the end there. It would have sounded better. Fuckity, smuckity. Yeah, it should be fuckity, smuckity, truckity. There. Yeah, that's alright. Fuckity, truckity, smuckity. Alright, you come up with swears and I'll say them on stream. And I mean, you can come up with swears that already exist. They can be utter gibberish, but you have to see it like a word that could almost sound like they're insulting someone. I'll get started. Snackfoot. Fucking Snackfoot coming over here taking our jobs. See? Maybe they're a type of... Maybe their society are called like the Snayans or something like that. The Snayans. And foot is like some sort of bastardized word in their language. Ooplock. Ooplock sounds like some alien. Damn it, auto-corrected on me. Frickin' Goobacks! Took our job. Right, chicken sandwich. No fairness, it's not the bloody Mexicans that are stealing your jobs. It's the fucking machines. You go to any McDonald's or Burger King, you'll see that. Trekking mech. Okay, trekking mech. I like trekking mech. Fuck Fuck you, you trekking mech! How dare you? That's our word! Hey man, gonna be playing some more Super Metroid on my channel later if you want to stop through. Fuck yeah, Evan! I'm gonna be hopping onto the tub after this, but I'm bringing my phone in with me. I was gonna listen to the banter-sode, but when I get the notification that you're gonna be live, I'm still in the tub at the time. I'll pause them. They're not going. DFF's going nowhere, and I'll pop in to say hi. Oh, Evan, by the way, we're coming up with swears that aren't real, but they could be construed as like insults or slurs. Smek, Indra, Snek. Now you see, that's just it. That's a little too long. Most slurs and swears are short things, like spick, dyke, faggot, things like that. They're sort of Paddy. You need to make a little constraint word. Like Trek and Mech, maybe Trek for short, you know? Still haven't played any of the Far Cry games? Actually, yes, for what little, particularly the first one I'd avoid. The second one was pretty cool. The third one is actually actually, I never played the second one, never mind. I'm out on the second one. The third one is actually a great little Ubisoft time waster. But also the main bad guy is really cool. 4 is good. It's more the same as third, but they're great little time sinks. And the fifth game is the same, but actually has a halfway decent story when you start breaking it down. Let's just say there's a twist ending that you aren't expecting. And of course there's multiple endings as well. But what they are, they're not too bad. There's nothing groundbreaking or amazing in it. But yeah, 3, 4, and 5. 1 I'd avoid. It's just, it hasn't aged well, and I don't know what 2 is. So. Oh, and as for Primal is the same as 4, but you're riding Mastodons and shit. Play 4 first, and if you like that, get yourself Primal. Yes, the 5th one is the one with set in America, Montana. There's tons of little tongue-in-cheek jokes at our current world's bullshit. And of course, they've made a new, I wouldn't call it an expansion, but a new companion game to that, set after the effects. So, that's... My advice is get them on sale. Never pay top dollar for them. But when you do, you'll have a few hours where you just kind of get lost in the game. So for what they are, yeah. But don't expect any sort of masterpiece. Oh, save that shit for... Ooh, there's actually a few games out there. Metal Gear Solid 5 would be one. That game was fucked up. Yeah, New Dawn. Oh, if you do get 3 or 4, forget which, also get like Blood Dawn, is it? Blood Dragon. 80s as fuck. Neon everywhere. Cyberpunk. It's good shit. Woo! Distance 7.7 kilometers. Speed 6. Calories 541. Time 13 minutes to go. Oh. Fuck me. I gotta get my new capture card here so I can play some new games live. I need once I capture PS3, Wii U, and PS4. I'm sure for the last 2, The last 2 games, you'd be able to get one that does both. Maybe one that will do them all. I don't know. You'd know more about that shit than I would. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn looks like a great game. I'd love to get my hands on that. And Red Dead 2. I loved Red Dead 1. Avoid that game. That zombie game where you're on the motorbike. That's doing the rounds. No one has any good things to say about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, play it yourself, make up your own mind, but it looks so boring. Most of the time you're just refilling your bike over and over again. That's all you do. Even with the upgrades. Zombies are just generic zombies. Bad guys are just generic bad guys. Oh god, I actually stink right now. Days Gone, thank you, Dick. And I hear you there on the gigs. I've got to clear up some shit on mine. I've got a terabyte or 2. I've actually got a terabyte hard drive separate, but I don't know where the external power source is. It's one of the older ones that needed its own battery pack. But if I get that, I've got 2 terabytes just waiting for me. Days Gone looks boring, it is. And I like open world games sometimes. Like, I love Skyrim. I love Oblivion. But, let's be honest here. Games like, say, Mad Max. They can look cool at first. But then it's just nothing to do. For miles, and miles, and miles, or worse, the same stuff over and over again. Like, take Assassin's Creed 3, for example. You've got a bit of an open world, like a spot in between, and then you've got all these packed cities. Well, there's so much busy work to do there. All the letters, and the chests, and the animus fragments, and the puzzles. And it's just busy work. That's all it is, and that's not gameplay that I want to do. I don't want to do busy work for the sake of busy work. To watch a little progress bar go up. This is going all the way back to what I was saying earlier at the start of the stream about the Yu-Gi-Oh game. It's just grind for the sake of grind. All the while, every one of those Assassin's Creed games, more and more ads just bombarding at you. Constantly ads upon ads upon ads. Upon paywalls. Like, say the Assassin's Creed Origin game. Set in Egypt. You've got those timed events where the gods come up and you have to battle them, right? Well, they're blocked. You see them all the time, but you can't engage in them unless you buy your way into them. And now with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there's fucking little markers in the store that are simply called time savers. Yeah, Bethesda knew how to make them, but after 76, I don't know. And Blades, if they fuck up the next Elder Scrolls, I'll be out of series that I love that haven't been touched. Yeah, 76 had so many problems with it. Fell into the same problem as all of those other games I just mentioned. Time wasting, time filling. Excuse to go buy microtransactions. And then what the fuck do they say? Oh, we made record profits, so we're axing 800 jobs. The gaming industry, man. It used to be so cool. And parts of it still are. But the more successful you are, the crappier you end up being. Same with the movie industry. Look at George Lucas. He started off as being counter-establishment, being the man, and he just makes a massive sale off to Disney. I suppose everyone sells out. Everyone fucking sells out. Elder Scrolls 6 is meant to be set in Hammerfell, so I believe. That'll be cool. Well, hold on. If Elder Scrolls 6 is not the game that we want, that does not necessarily mean that it's fucked. If it turns a profit, it will consider itself a success. Its fans will consider it a success, because there has to be people who buy that shit. That money has to come from somewhere. I've gotten yelled at so many times by fans of 76 who are like, the game is good, I don't know what your problem is. Look, if you're enjoying that shit, fine, but don't pretend it's good. Pretend that you're just enjoying it. We can sit by the corner as we're getting pushed more and more out. It's like gentrification. We're slowly getting pushed more and more out into the ghettos. While you need a certain amount of money to stay in. Pretty soon, the whales will be all that's left. Games will be slowly built for the people who will dump 50 grand a year into a game. Or the ones that have no problem constantly buying latest packs months, years in advance, even though there's no guarantee the game will come out. It's not just that it's greed, it's that it's stupid greed, because it'll eventually all fall in their faces. Eventually, there'll be no more money. Because if you constantly have to gauge yourself on how much more money are you going to get next year, and then you make all the money in the world, No. We're going to look at a games collapse, the likes of which makes the one in the 80s look like a joke. I don't know when that will happen. I'm guessing EA or Activision will be the ones that do it. EA just devours everything, destroys everything good. Visceral, Maxis, all that good stuff. I know they've been eyeing up CD Projekt Red, who they themselves are starting to show their true colours as being dicks. The last Witcher game, they fired half their staff just before it was released so they couldn't claim their bonus. And we were praising CD Projekt Red for being cool. Shows what we know. But eventually, EA or Activision or Take-Two or Square Enix, one of the big uns, will fuck up in some colossal way. Maybe, for example, you pay $60 to get the game, and then the game itself is completely blocked off. Like, completely blocked off. It just says you have to join a monthly service in order to pay it. But they advertise it like there's no monthly installments. Or worse, you buy the game, you have everything paid up for a month or a year or whatever, and then suddenly the game either has no support for its servers or it's not finished. Or maybe it'll be something else entirely. Maybe this next generation of consoles will be absolutely atrocious. Xbox will fold. PS4 will be bought off by probably EA. Oh god, or Steam. I'm actually surprised Steam doesn't have a Steam service where once a month you have to pay them to use their service. Point is, gaming's going the way of the dodo at this rate. You could argue more than the gaming industry is. Movies, music, everything is going going somewhere, and it won't be a good place when they get there. But look, one place that is good is here right now, because I've almost got 9k, my limit. So let's count this shit down. We got 2 minutes, 35 seconds. GameStop will be gone in 2 years. I'm surprised GameStop lasts as long as it has. It was already filing for bankruptcy until somebody bailed it out. And it's not just GameStop. You've got HMV over here in the UK and Ireland. They actually foreclosed 3 times, constantly getting bailed out at the last moment. And that was over a 5-year period. It was mental. GameStop will go, CEX will survive, because CEX is a clever little fuck. It's like a junk shop of a games store. Don't know if you guys have that over in America. But over here, CEX or sex, either one, I always call it CEX. That will just fucking be there for you. That'll be there for you. Okay, hour 35. Hour 35 to go. Oh, good. No, minute 30. Oh, fuck me. Thank you so much for everyone in the chat for just letting me distract my mind from this fucking agony by reminding me of other agonies like the movie industry and the gaming industry. I haven't even talked about how shitty YouTube's gotten. There's another industry that'll fucking collapse, the streaming industry. In that case, I feel really bad for the little kids who thought they'd become the next Ninja or whoever the fuck is big on TikTok. $50 seconds. Gonna insure. Nah, never mind. I was gonna insure it by getting it tonight. 45 seconds. 40 seconds. Water. One of these days I'm gonna do this, and then somebody donates a shit ton of money for me to do another hour. And I'll just be there like, 14, 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! I'm gonna put this back into the wash because I'm gonna wear this at Metallica. Fuck me, and a half shell turtle power. When I said that, I just pictured Jared Genesis doing that, but that's what he says when he comes. He's masturbating and fucking his body pillow. Thank you. I'd have done it without anyone in the chat, but I swear to Christ, you guys make it so much easier because I can just get lost in the conversation. Oh, I absolutely reek right now. There is no Theon, only reek. Anyway, I'm gonna go and hop in the tub. Evan, if I can, if I'm there, if I'm able to, I will go and pop in and say hi. If you're on later, I definitely will pop in and say hi. I will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure about the timing, but it should be standard fare, except maybe Wasted Wednesday will start, pre-drinking drinking will start a little later. And then we'll do the normal thing around about 9, 10ish. Or maybe it won't. The point is, I'm going to do my shop, I'm going to walk up to Shemore, I'm going to film myself along the way, come back here, put a video together, filming myself walking around the other canal, post that up, and then hop onto Rabbit. where we will be watching. I actually don't know. I know it has to be a. I want it to be like an 80s or 70s animated film because the Wizard we watched last time was fucking great. Oh god. Oh, anyway. There's another workout stream done. So if you like what you saw, you know the gist by now. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Join our Discord. You'll find the link down below. Rabbit link should still be. Rabbit link should still be here. Yep, there we are. In case you're not already subscribed. And yeah, it's procrastinating at this point. I need to put the water on. I need to put this on. See you all again soon. Tomorrow. Or Wasted Wednesday.